Good morning and welcome to KidNuz. I'm Tori. Today is Monday, June 22nd, 2020. And we begin with Oregonians finding humor in some pretty gross history. Residents in the town of Florence just renamed a park Exploding Whale after the misfortunes of a super smelly and very dead sea creature that washed ashore 50 years ago. According to the state's Historical Society, the 45-foot, 8-ton behemoth was too big to bury and posed a health risk, especially for those who might want to touch it, climb on top of it, or worse still, fall inside it. So officials opted to stuff it with dynamite and blow it up. They thought it would explode into tiny pieces, but it didn't. Huge chunks of whale blubber rained down on spectators, causing panic and a run for survival. 5 decades later, that trauma is now a tribute to the event that put Florence on the map and a chance to repeat the line made famous by a local TV reporter at the time, "The blast blasted blubber beyond all believable bounds." Over the weekend, something happened that hasn't in 152 years. Spring turned to summer without a stitch of baseball, which means the coronavirus managed to do what 2 world wars and the Spanish flu couldn't. It kept the game from being played on the first day of summer for the first time in its history. Even during the strike of 1981, the minors continued to take the field. Now, there probably won't be a minor league season at all, and the majors are locked in a bitter labor war over how to restart the pandemic-shortened season safely and fairly. The ball is now in the hands of baseball's commissioner, who, any day now, could order players back on the field. The nation's top doctor, meantime, is throwing doubt on the start of another sport. Infectious disease specialist Anthony Fauci believes the prospects for the NFL are not good unless players are essentially in a bubble, insulated, and tested nearly every day. He says it would be very hard to see how football is to be played this fall. Dr. Fauci's comments come as cases climb in 23 states, 10 of which are reporting troubling spikes. According to Johns Hopkins University, new infections across the U.S. are now at their highest level since May 1st. This morning, the world's youngest Nobel Peace Prize winner has another feather in her cap. She's an Oxford University graduate. Malala Yousafzai was only 15 when she became an international icon, fighting for the rights of girls to get an education. Even though some people tried hard to stop her, she refused to give up. For that, she won the Nobel at 17 and now at 22 has a degree in philosophy, politics, and economics from one of the planet's most prestigious universities. What comes next? Like many grads, she doesn't know. For now, she says it will be Netflix, reading, and sleep. The latest product headed for an overdue overhaul is an ice cream classic. The owners of Eskimo pies, which are vanilla bars dipped in chocolate, say they are retiring the 99-year-old name and image. The word Eskimo has long been under the microscope. Critics say it's an unflattering term, first used by Arctic colonizers to refer to Inuit and Yupik people, but not all organizations are bowing to pressure to rebrand. The Texas Rangers baseball team was named after a law enforcement agency with a bad reputation for its treatment of minorities. But club owners say that was then, this is now. They've got 50 years of forging a new, independent identity that stands for equality, and they won't be changing a thing. That's it for KidNuz. Now our KidNuz quiz. How big was the whale that washed ashore in Oregon 50 years ago? It was 45 feet long and weighed 8 tons. What happened this weekend that's never happened before? Baseball wasn't played on the first day of summer. What's the latest accomplishment of the youngest ever Nobel Peace Prize winner? Malala Yousafzai graduated from Oxford University. What's the latest product to change its image and name? Eskimo pie ice cream bars. In One for the Road, a little history on how vanilla ice cream and chocolate became one on a stick. It was 100 years ago in 1920 when a boy in a sweet shop started to buy ice cream, then changed his mind and bought a chocolate bar instead. Store owner Christian Kent Nelson asked him why, and the boy said, "I want them both, but I only got a nickel." With that, ice cream bars were born, vanilla ice cream on the inside, a chocolate bar on the outside. A few years later, Mr. Nelson partnered with ice cream maker Russell Stover, who renamed the bar Eskimo Pie. Before we go, our KidNuz birthday shout-outs are for Bentley in Wichita, Kansas, Odin in Santaquin, Utah, Samantha in Fayetteville, Arkansas, Claire in Missouri City, Texas, Emily in Sanford, Florida, to Massachusetts for Joshua in Somerville, Hannah in Sudbury, and Dylan in Northfield, and California for Sage in Pasadena and Reagan in Concord. Thanks for listening. It really helps if you rate and review us wherever you get your podcasts. We hope you tune in for more KidNuz tomorrow morning.